Hello friends, let's take a look at Link. We'll take a look at Link versus Bitcoin and Link versus the dollar coin, but we're not going to spend an awful long time doing it because we've covered everything in the previous episodes and everything that has to be covered has been covered quite thoroughly and nothing has particularly changed. Now I'm going to mitigate the fact that I put out a really long Bitcoin video by making a brief Chainlink video right now as we look at the charts. And just a reminder, as we talk about so often when it comes to Chainlink, because this seems to be for some reason why I remember to do this when I'm doing my videos during the day, that if you come up and hit this 618 area and go into that golden pocket and then retrace down below the 50% area, that you've got a valid Fibonacci working towards the downside and targets towards the downside of 43,000, 42,000 and 41,000 to sort of 40,500 become very much realistic targets, and you could be looking towards them. But at the minute, just kind of asking ourselves, will the prices manage to maintain themselves above the sort of 45,600 area, or indeed 45,000 if you want to be tighter about things, and manage to then sort of just simply put in a higher low on the way for a movement towards the upside. Looking at things like the ADX, we came down here to the 10 area a couple of times, and looking at the price action, you can see the volatility that came in there. So there, confirmation in terms of whether or not you believe me about breaking down below 15 and all the rest of it on the ADX line as being an area where you might see volatility. You can add that to your armory for trading if you like. And then of course, then we've had this high come in here. It's divergent on the DMI. It's divergent on the RSI. It's not divergent on the stochastics. But we are kind of consolidating just in this brief instance just here with this time frame. And let's just go on down again to the lower time frames and say, like, shoulder, head, is this going to be a shoulder, some sort of Adam and Eve type thing? Now, of course, this isn't really like that. This doesn't really add up, but you do have a couple of things working for you in terms of for it. For instance, the volume neatly lines up with that type of idea, and therefore then you could we'll just use this line for it and say that you've got a kind of confirmation line coming in around these areas. Perhaps maybe if you're to come down and break below the 44,000, then you could be seeing the prices going down the way, and we'll see how this matches up with what we were talking about before. That would take us down to the 40,900 area. So likewise, there you go. There's all your sort of trading for you, or your stuff, and that's the 50% retraces on a big time frame Fibonacci retracement. So then looking over at the dollar prices, is it the same? Well, yes, this chat in this area is the same as it was in the other one. Just borrow this breakout measuring stick that we have there on the charts, stick it in here. Say you had something like that would take you down to the lower end of this channel. So you could be looking at $4 if we break down below $4.30. Want to see the prices stay above there. We're below the 21 moving average on the 4-hour time frame, going up to the 24-hour time frame. Take a look at that. Well, the 21 comes in around about here. So you got $4.10 and $4 itself would be the two areas that you could look to if we break below 430 in terms of making a higher low. And looking towards the left, you got the previous highs coming in right here at $4.08. So that would all make sense. But we could actually see things continue up from the $4.30 area and go on up again. Overall, we're in a parallel channel that's just kind of ascending in its structure, and this could continue in the meantime. You've got a magnolia colored line in here, and if we switch over to the left, you see it's a 786 on the big time Fibonacci all-time highs and lows retracement area, and you can also see that we had a touch there off the 886 as well. If we get supported here by this, maybe we'll re-challenge the 886 again at the top of this area. And if we were actually to then go on and break out from the channel at some point, and we wanted to kind of have a sort of F off, if we wanted to have a sort of measured move off the back of this thing, then you could absolutely pop that up there and you could look and say $5.38. But I wouldn't get too carried away looking for that in terms of the immediate move off the back of this thing. Instead, I would say $4.90 would be more than greedy enough, and $4.68 would actually be a reasonable, or $4.75, let's call it, would be a more than reasonable target to be looking for in terms of getting more or less a 10% move towards the upside and being happy enough with that without needing to be greedy in order to do your trading. In general, there's a few things to be aware of. The fact that we have no divergence here, just here in the dollar pricing, but there is some on the Bitcoin pricing, but there's none here on this one. But we look over to the ADX, we can see it's come right down low. So perhaps we're going to get some volatility in here. As you can see already, there has been some recently. Maybe we'll get a bit more. So I'd sort of hold on to my socks if I see something happening. Just in general, and look towards the areas such as actually $5 is a round number, really. If you were to be really super greedy about things, that you've got that. But of course, just a reminder, reiterate again, 460 and 480 for 90 or whatever would be better areas to look to in terms of just being sensible. I'm not a financial advisor, none of this financial advice. I know I'm speaking very quickly. I'm trying to get this over with fairly fast because I made a really stupidly long Bitcoin video. Highly recommend you watch it if you like the chat here. If you're looking for some chat and just like you know, a friend, basically, to have a friend in your living room or on your mobile phone or in your headset or whatever for an hour talking about stuff which may or may not be interesting, I don't know, then I'm sure, you know, I'm sure it comes across to a lot of people as being like big-headed. I'm sure it comes across as being like arrogant or full of myself or any of that sort of stuff. I assure you, I don't feel those ways about myself. I really don't. I'm quite self-deprecating as a person. But then again, you know, you make a video and you talk for an hour on it, then you're running all sorts of risks. I certainly would never want to put myself up on a pedestal, or a podium, or a pedestal, if you mix those two words together, or anything like that. I'm just having a chat about the scientific method and trying to introduce an idea into your trading, and you know, having a laugh about the other type of people on YouTube about a couple of things or whatever. No big deal, just a bit of fun. All sorts of respect and love out there for all sorts of people. As you see, we've got a little doji here right on this thing. That's what we're kind of seeing. Will the prices be supported here at this particular area or not? And that's the questions that we've got right now for us in terms of link. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'll catch you in the next episode. Share this video with a friend if you've got one that you think would like it, and I'll see you next time. I apologize again for speaking very quickly, but you know, I fluffed up earlier by making a really long video, so this is just the sort of the upshot of that. Catch you next time.